Hey guys, how's it going? This is David Sebastian, coordinator of Mentoring Arts Programming with Wayside. I am here again today with you guys doing some artwork. Today we're going to do some drawing on the iPad in Procreate. I hope it'll be cool. You know what I mean? We are, this is maybe, I don't know, maybe my 30th live stream on YouTube. What I've been doing is streaming on YouTube Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and streaming on Facebook Wednesday and Friday. Excuse me. So if anybody is interested in this type of stuff, like come on over and work with us while we're live, or if not, you can always come and check out our videos. They'll be here anytime you want, and they're available for you. So I'm hoping that, something good will come out of this. You know what I mean? In any case, we are here happening, doing our stuff, and I love it. All right, having a lot of technical problems today, so I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. We're going to make it work, though, and don't sweat it. Let me tell you a little bit about my program and who I am. Excuse me. So my program is called Greenhouse Graphics, which you would know if you're here watching it with me. You're here watching me, since we're here on the Greenhouse Graphics YouTube page. I am the coordinator of Mentoring Arts Programming. As I said, I work with Wayside Youth and Family, which is a human service agency out of Framingham. This is their logo right here. These guys do a lot of great work with young adults and their families, and I think they're awesome. Sorry guys, I've been working with them for about 7 years, and it's really gone well. My programs exist through a partnership with the Department of Mental Health and Wayside. I first started this program at Tempo Young Adult Resource Center, which is at 68 Henry Street in Framingham. These guys are doing some really great work. The Resource Center is for young adults 16 to 26, and they help with anything that might be bothering you. Sorry guys, from homelessness and drug addiction, to a computer lab, a food kitchen, a shower. These guys cover the gamut of a lot of stuff, and there's some really, really good folks there doing some really great work. So I would be there at Tempo in the basement studio that we've built there, running an open studio program every Wednesday and Friday for the young adults at Tempo. This is a physical program, of course, and we're using... I am exhausted. Always staying up too late. It seems like 4 o'clock on a weekday is kind of late for me. In any case, what did I say? We run an open studio program there, and it runs 10:30 to 3. I've been doing that for the entire time I've been there. And then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I take the program on the road. Our road program is called TAG. That's why this program is called TAG. Yeah. And so that's the deal. So we are taking both programs virtual. I'm super excited about being able to meet more of you guys, because one of the biggest problems we run into for sure is folks not being able to get to the studio. So it seems like most folks can get here to work with me. So sorry, no idea. So in any case, today we are going to download, find a good reference for the character Etrigan, invented by Jack Kirby. Interesting, he's an interesting character. Merlin summons him to fight in the battle with Morgan Le Fay that is ultimately lost. and he simply exists. He's like an immortal dude. He has a very similar comic sort of origin thing going on, which is he lives inside of Jason Blood, and when he says a certain poem, the demon comes out and fights crime and that kind of stuff. So we're going to do a portrait of Etrigan today in Procreate for the purpose of doing another leather. You guys probably have seen the leather that we did a while back. I can show it to you. The one on the back, the one that we did was Cthulhu, which I'm sure you guys all know who the Cthulhu is, or I hope you know who Cthulhu is. If not, you will know in a moment. Have literally thousands of images. It's extremely annoying. Almost there. Oh, that one sucks. Well, maybe I don't have one I can show you. Oh, here we go. So this was the Cthulhu jacket that we worked on. It came out really good, really fun. Gonna definitely be doing more of that stuff. Alright. Had a real hard time getting everything to work today. Extremely frustrating. Know what I mean? Anyway, so that's that's what's getting us here today, and so we're going to work on Etrigan. I'm going to go ahead and start where I would start, which is you basically just Google an image. I have a lot of source images, but it takes it takes a little bit of time to sort through some stuff and scanning it for you guys, or photographing. In fact, these days I would for sure photograph it, but some of the options of what we can find online would give us a little bit more personality and a little bit more of a general kind of impression. I think all of you guys should make every effort to find the best reference that you can, for sure, always. So, there is that. Okay, so we're going to take a look at our setup here. This is my iPad Pro. This is the 12.9, a really great device. I've been using it now for since its debut. I think that was maybe 2 years ago, and I think it's awesome. I really dig it. So we're going to be working in the Procreate program, which is what this is. This is our library, but we're not going to start in the library. We're going to start in, we're going to start in Safari. All right, so we're going to start over here, go into Google, go in here and put in Etrigan, maybe the demon. Right, and then we're right in here. Click images, and then we got a million images of Etrigan the demon. Including his toy, which is really awesome. I got to get me one of those. This is probably the most common image. This is Jack Kirby's cover of the very first appearance of the demon. So that one is extremely common. My first thought was that I would use that because it's just really awesome. But I'm going to try something a little different. So we go up here and we say Bissett. Now, Bissett is an artist that worked on the Swamp Thing comic, and Etrigan made an appearance in the Swamp Thing comic, and he just has a great way of drawing characters. So let's see what we get. So now we get a lot different impression of the demon. This one here, I've done a collage using this image, and I dig it. It's very, very cool. This is great too, where he's just showing up. But I think we're going to try to stick with one of these because these are way more sort of like, actiony, um, or angry. Definitely want them to be like, in the attack, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting a whole heck of a lot of his work, Steve Bissette's work, in the Etrigan character. I like this one. So first thing we'll do is grab this one. All you do is hold your finger on it, and then we can say copy right there. You would use that. And then we go into our Procreate program. We say new. I say clipboard. And there we are. So pretty painless, pretty painless. Now I just want to see if we can get, one more Etrigan reference. You know what I mean? And I think for this one, we'll take away, Steve Bissette's name, and just go with Etrigan. Again, bunch of stuff in here from a bunch of different people. I want to try something a little more traditional, just so we have like the traditional piece to reference in relation to the one that we're going to do from Steve Bissette. Maybe the Kirby one. I don't know. I like the way we can really see the features on the demon in the Kirby one. Nothing in here looks like it's quite as good. This one here, the demon, is really funny. Apparently there's some movies about him. Alright, well, nothing really screams out, except maybe this one. Another good thing to do is when you're searching for images in Google, go to Tools and click Large, and you get a completely different sort, and you get some more, larger, clearly, and more detailed images. Also, when you bring them into the program, they're not tiny. I'm bringing them into Procreate, and they can very easily wind up being really tiny. Back into Procreate, back to our gallery, new again, clipboard, and there we go. So now we get two pretty good references. Right. Two pretty good references. So we're just going to start working on it. What I am using here is the Apple Pencil. Like, I'm sure you guys get it. Apple Pencil on Generation 2 iPad. Fits down the top on a magnetic strip. It has, I thought that originally the pencil was going to be hexagonal like a regular pencil, but it actually only has one flat side and the rest is round. It's pretty cool to work with like that. Kind of like X-Acto. Excuse me, where you kind of you have a place to place your finger, and the round sits in the bottom of our hands pretty good. So what I want to do is I want to try to create a couple layers on top of this and a couple impressions of what we want this jacket to look like, because this is what I'm doing. I'm going to take Etrigan's head, maybe upper body, and put it on the back of the jacket, and then try to get the rhymes in there and stuff. There's a few rhymes that go with Etrigan, and they're pretty cool. Let's see if we can find one real quick. All right, it says, let's see. Oh man, it's so hard. Just to find the text is ridiculous. Change, change the form of man. Free the prince forever damned. Free the might from fleshy mire. Boil the blood in heart of fire. Gone, gone the form of man. Rise the demon Etrigan. I love that. Yeah, so the first thing we're going to do when we get in here and start working is we just really need to use part of this. So we're going to use this tool, which is the selection tool. We're going to keep it, maybe we'll just use a rectangle. And we kind of drag through like this and grab, some stuff. And we want to say either cut and paste, fill, clear. You can like invert your selection and then say clear. Let's try that one more time. All right. So we want to just say copy and paste. So in here is our layers. Turn this one off, and we just have what we wanted for this layer. Then we're going to add a layer like that right on top of this. Turn off our selection tool. And so now we can kind of do like a transform thing. Oops. We got to make sure we're on the right layer, which is this one. And then we do our transform, you see. Now, I don't really want to make the image any smaller. I just want to try to get a little closer to it. If we were working on the back of this jacket with this image right here, we'd really want it to be big, you know what I mean? So we want to like kind of just zoom in on the head part, and a little bit of a cape, and maybe this claw, maybe like this. Right? So then you just turn that off. So now we got a pretty cool demon face thing kind of going on, and an interesting pose and stuff. And this is possibly something that we could work with, you know what I mean? See what we can do. One more thing I wanted to do. Can't remember what it was though. Alright, well, no problem. So we'll go in here, and first thing we have to do is decide what we're going to use for a brush. These are my ink brushes. These are my Toast 23 brushes, the ones that I've picked that I enjoy working with. The Elder brush is good if it's large. That's Bill Elder as opposed to the Elder wand from Harry Potter. Which I really like also, but it's definitely not what I wanted to use. I think I want to make this even bigger, even closer to his face. So we got to make sure we're on that layer again and making it bigger again. Right, so we can just make sure it's pretty much just his head. I like the fire and stuff, though. All right, let's try that again. So now we go in right here and we decide what layer we're going to work on, right? So what are we trying to do here? Like we got this impression of Etrigan. Whoops. We're using black. We're bringing it up a bit. Don't think we need it to be. Let's try this one. All right. So can you guys see that? All I'm doing is putting some lines in. Maybe we'll try it in white, and then maybe you guys can see it better. I'm gonna brush a little bigger just so you can see it. So all I'm doing is taking some information that this particular artist used to tell some of this story about Etrigan. Alright. And he's got these big old ears out here. Alright. I want to throw his jar in. Alright. This one we got some stuff coming out of his mouth and stuff. Now we just jump in here for a sec. We turn this, whoops. This color is, this background layer has got to be black or we're not going to be able to see anything. Okay. So now we have some little bit of information to work with. I'm going to go back a few. Let's just start with his face, just the circle. I think that makes a little bit more sense. All right, go back in here. All right, so now we got a little bit of our reference. I want to get this guy in here. Hold on just one sec. One sec, you guys. Lost looking for my internet connection again. If only we had our connection. Same stuff here. No idea. All right. Okay. Okay. Just kind of clean up our sketch a little bit here. This particular reference that we're using, Etrigan, is really mad. Bring our brush size down a little just so we're not looking at something crazy. Two fingers undo, three fingers redo. Guess that was all we did. Let's get rid of a few more of our startup lines. Right. Looks like we got a pretty good amount of information here to work with. The only other thing is, you know, him screaming and stuff, which I should at least possibly be able to figure out. Okay. So, you know, when you think about painting, right, you're thinking about, whoops. Thinking about colors, right? And so, like, we have our Etrigan guy here, and we can hold our finger on the area and select the color that he is, and then we can add a layer, and just color that in. You know what I mean? Like, we could select it like this. Whoops. We need to go freehand. Nope. Undo. Freehand. Undo. Freehand. Right. And then you can just grab this color, right? You know, undo, 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 redo, redo. Let's try that again. Sorry, you guys. Extremely silly. Alright. Take this layer and put it behind this one. Right. Turn that guy off. Now we have a little bit of his color. I like that. I think that feels kind of good. Like, now we're starting to get somewhere. You know, we're starting to get a little kind of demon action going on. Now we're going to obviously have to adjust that quite a bit, but it's fine. You know what I mean? Seeing if I could find just a little bit more information about the character. You know what I mean? I always like to have the reference in front of me. All right, cool. Yeah, so I think I can work with that. I'm just going to take away a little of this. Oh. A little bit of this bottom junk here. I'll just start drawing the guy. More white. Try not to start drawing with, like, you know, the largest possible brush. In fact, maybe we'll just switch to black so that we can see the lines that we're building. Right? Skull action in here, even though you wouldn't see a lot of it with his eyes right here. Mm-hmm. here and grab like some kind of a red. Just throw it in here. Alright. Just so we got a little bit of his color here. A little brighter yellow. What I would have liked to do is to have put that red on a different layer. Let's go ahead and add a layer. And we'll put some of our red in there. Wow, that looks real different on its own layer. So now we know where we want his teeth to be. This artist was cool because he kind of had a pretty cartoony thing going with Etrigan's head and stuff. You know, even that he's down so low. There'll be some temple. I always try to draw, you know, a lot of skull when I'm doing heads. You know, try to keep a lot of skull going. Just want to kind of fill this area in to remind me of what I want to be there. Grab another one, go back to white. Oops. All right. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, and here we're getting some brush studio options, which is being able to go in and affect your, to take a look at what your brush stroke's going to look like, so you understand it within the concept of what you're working with. There's quite a few options here, including brush dynamics and the pressure settings for the Apple Pencil. I mostly leave all these things default because I just don't feel like I really need them. But check them out if you feel like you need them at all. They're there, and they're pretty cool. Like they definitely give you, I would say, probably some of the best flexibility in the history of digital artwork. I've been using Photoshop for years and I love it, but these guys are really kind of revolutionizing hand drawing in the digital world. Like that's something that Adobe has not really pulled off as well as they could have. Like other companies like Wacom have done an amazing job of creating of creating an experience that's like drawing on paper, but it just hasn't worked out. And then Procreate comes along and really knocks it out of the park, with their stuff. So wicked exciting. I love working with it. I'm really excited to have the chance to try to create something with this program. I've transitioned really away from paper. If I'm going to sketch something, especially preparatory, it's mostly going to be here, because then you can export it, print it, whatever you want to do. Winds up working out pretty good. Alright, so let's go in here for a sec with our eraser. We don't need this prep line anymore. We got our spots for our horns here, so we don't need those. What layer are we on? No, we're good. Everything else looks fine. Went out a little bit too much over there. That was going to be the character's back. Just for a sec, let's turn ours off. Our eyes are way too big. Now we got some eyes in a little better spot here. I'm liking that. That's coming along. Just one sec, guys. There we go. Okay. All right. There you go, nice pink color. There we go. That'll work. All right. I changed the background to this terrible color so that I can see, so I can see what, what we have done and what we haven't done. Because it was getting away from me a little bit. Alright, so I think for a minute we'll just keep drawing with this color just until we get a little bit more information in here. Alright, bring this jaw out a little, especially if his mouth is going to be open. You see it's a little bit of a drag on the pencil. That's called streamlining, and is one of my favorite things about this program. Is, you know, a problem with digital is that it shows the shake of your hand in a big way. I'm sure there's some guys out there whose hands don't shake. I'm just not one of them. So you can put in streamlining and it'll sort of compensate for your shaky hand. It's not a solution, but it's a short-term one. Now this artist had Etrigan had really big horns, where Kirby had really small horns. You know, like that would be the horn from Kirby. This would be the horn from the last guy. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave them both different sizes for the moment, just to kind of see what happens. All right. Okay. Pretty much everyone is mostly drawn Etrigan pretty similar, you know, which is sort of convenient. You know what I mean? So now we got to start dealing with this mouth here. I like the idea of it being like really sort of like straight. You know what I mean? Etrigan has like a really square jaw. Basically have his bottom jaw come into his teeth so that we can see what we get if we pull up our reference again. Cool thing is you can double tap on the pencil and it'll switch to from brush to eraser. I've learned that kind of recently. I really dig it. I think it's an awesome thing. Really helps. Pretty much like get really we got a lot of our anatomy good and happening. I always feel like I tend to over wrinkle my characters, which in Etrigan is probably not going to be a problem. Wait, I'm going to go ahead and change the size of that eraser so we can come through the middle here but not erase everything. All right, coming along. Now we can jump back into our, what happens if we throw this white in? I think we're just going to delete that layer. And then in this layer, I'm going to go in and erase some of this, our other prep white. Just clean it up a little. Another reason to draw in your initial drawing in a different color so that you know what you're correcting, right? As opposed to erasing information that you ultimately want to use. Even this sketchiness that I have going on here, I'm going to trim that back too. Give him just a little, John Travolta chin. Alright. This is coming along cool. I love history, because it gives us we could get a little bit more